Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Stay Groovy podcast. She wants to go, and since I don't want her scratching me, this is Frankie. I think you've seen her now and then. I'm going to let her go, and at some point, she's going to jump on everything, and it'll be real funny. So it's like we've planted a seed.
Hi.
It's a joke that's going to happen at some point. She'll fall from the ceiling. That's what she does. One time, actually, she leapt. I think it's the proper terminology. She from my stereo system, and I didn't know I was sitting in an ottoman about 3 to 4 feet down. Didn't know she was jumping. Just all of a sudden felt a huge punch to my sternum. Nearly knocked my wind out. I know that's hard to believe because she's a very tiny cat, but she's a lovable little tabby, and we were glad to have her. So anyway, if you're just joining us, this is a Stay Groovy podcast. I'm Scotty. I'm with the lovely and talented Emily. Hi, Emily.
Hi.
And today we're going to talk about CDs, which is, it's a topic that's a little strange because I run a record store. So first of all, it almost sounds a little like, sacrilegious, sort of, to be having, to get so behind CDs. But I got to tell you, the last year or so, we've made a little more of a concerted effort to bring in more CDs. And I've definitely seen sales on the rise for them. I am still going to be, no matter what I have to say about CDs today, still a vinyl guy. Analog baby. Definitely records, hands down, is my favorite medium, personally. But that's not to say that CDs don't have merit. And I think that's all I want to say to the beginning. I usually have a joke or 10, but we're trying, by the way, we're going to try to keep this podcast, first of all, out of the YouTube trouble area, so we won't mention anything about Satan or loving the devil or worshiping the devil or wanting to suck the devil's. I'm just kidding. We're being there's not going to be too many F-bombs or brought up anything that's kind of troublesome like we usually do. So, because we want to make sure that the podcast is easy to edit, because Emily's going to be taking over editing soon. So I'm pretty excited about that. So is she. It's a bit of a challenge, but James is showing her the ropes and been very kind enough, and he's still here. Say hi, James.
Hi.
See, that's as much as you'll get out of him.
Hi.
Again, he has an agent, and he's not allowed usually to talk on camera. So, anyway, Emily, CDs. Yay, CDs.
Yes, CDs. All right, Frankie. We're just can I have this
The cat is such a great helper.
What a sweetheart. I love you, Frankie. So, I'm sorry for clearing my throat into there.
You need some water?
It was the summer of 1982, and the first public access CDs were for sale and released. They were for sale first in Japan, and then made their way elsewhere. Thank you for the butt shot there, Frankie.
Nice.
Now, it was the late 1970s when Philips and Sony first developed the prototypes for CDs. Do you have anything about CDs you want to talk about?
No, we're done.
No, I got a lot more.
Good night, everybody. Drive carefully.
All right, so...
No, I do. But I, just let me know if you want to talk a little more about them.
Well, I was going to bring up the CD was the second optical disc format. It followed the laser disc, which we do have some in the store.
You should get one.
A whole pile of them.
Why don't you go grab one over there? Or is that going to disconnect you? Is that difficult? I'm already doing things. I'd have James do it, but he'd be he's running the camera today. He'd have a hard time. Yeah, Laserdisc. Not everybody's familiar with Laserdisc. I think they're super cool. They look like a gigantic CD. Like if a CD was to like pump iron and take steroids, that's what a Laserdisc kind of looks like. So she's pulled out a good one, actually. Joe Satriani, available at Vintage and Vinyl now. There's some cool Laserdiscs that are not on any other media. Like this may or may not be on DVD or on CD. I don't know. I'm not saying that it is or isn't, but there's a fair number of them. Some Madonna ones, I guess, only came out on Laserdisc. So Laserdiscs are pretty cool, and not every store has them. We have probably one crate full, and in fact, it's such a niche that that's where we put the cat's bed, is on top of the Laserdisc, because not that many people come in for them, but they're still pretty interesting.
Do you need a specific player to play them?
Yes, you do. You need a Laserdisc player, and yes, we have one for sale. So,
all right.
There's that.
The other interesting thing was originally they only held 74 minutes, and then it got bumped up to 80, so 700 megabytes. And I'm sure everybody remembers when you had Napster and you were downloading your songs, trying to fit all your favorites on. I don't know if anybody else remembers the mini CDs. I remember when Pizza was doing this like summer giveaway thing where when you ordered that family party pack, you got a mini CD with it. And I remember it because it had Supergrass pumping on the radio, and I like that song, or pumping on your stereo. But yeah,
I had actually a CD mini disc player.
Oh yeah,
I sold it. I just looked behind me. I sold. Actually, I had two of them. They were Panasonic, one of the earlier ones, and that was really short lived though.
Yeah, because they only held like 1 to 2 songs. They were used for like the singles and that kind of a thing.
Yeah, I kind of get a kick out of that dated. Basically vintage media though that was really short-lived. I kind of like some of those things. If you well, we might do a podcast because I was looking at some of them, just the like even Beta for the VHS was, you know, lasted what 20 plus years. Beta was short-lived for the most part. They kind of were competing with one another, and then VHS just blew it away. But those ones that are like even some of the DVDs went on to some of the other like CD enhanced and I don't know, HD blah 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 blah, whatever. If it was a short-lived, isn't it in your opinion that it is in mine anyway that it's going to be something that's a little rare? And therefore could be collectible in the not too distant future. I could be wrong. I'm not a soothsayer. I am just a wizard. No, but you know, it's those sort of things that you kind of got to get in on before anyone else does, and then you can gather them up cheaply, right? But CDs were out for how many years? Really? I mean, they're still out.
They're still out.
Are they still making CDs? Right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But it's like the popularity of them was only like 20 years-ish because the MP3s came out by 2005 roughly.
I think it had
2004 MP3s hit the market, and then it kind of started changing because you had the Apple iPod, the iPod Shuffle, all those things started to come out, so everybody was slowly switching to the MP3 players from the CD players. So
do you think will there be a demand for at some point that CDs will gain enough popularity that cars that no longer have them in their, as far as their production, that there'll be some sort of adapter thing that you can adapt into your...
Well, you can just get an aftermarket stereo put in. I had to do that when I first got my car because I had an Echo, and I wanted to be able to play MP3s, so I went to the Best Buy and had them put in a aftermarket stereo in for me.
I mean, of course, my customer base, people like physical media. You know, they're not into as much Spotify and downloading. I mean, some are, some aren't. Everybody's different. But I get a lot of people that kind of complain, oh, I wish CD would have been available in my car. Like, I'm wondering, like, if they kind of took them out of the car, all the cars and automakers a little soon.
I think they jumped the gun on it. They should have just left it. What harm would it have been to leave it, really?
I know, exactly. I mean, it takes up one little slot, but...
Yeah.
Money.
Yeah, I know. Everything comes down to money.
I mean, how much money is a laser disc? And I always liked the ones in the car because they were always usually pretty good quality. Like, I mean, maybe not in the very, very first couple of years, maybe, or whatever, but CDs rarely, once they got it figured out, like in your car and you'd be cruising, it'd take quite a lot for it to jump. Now, scratches on them, as we know. When CDs first came out, I remember them kind of touting it, is that the right word, as indestructible. You know, they made it sound like this CD will last for eternity and blah, blah, blah. No matter what, you can't do anything. And we all know, especially if you were like me and sometimes you treated your CDs a little bit poorly. You know, I'd be playing them in the car, especially in the car. I'd be firing them into the back seat and whatever.
I dropped a lot trying to switch CDs while driving.
Well, there's
which
that.
you shouldn't do.
No. So if they get fair amount of use and scratched or damaged in any way, then you're going to get the... That was a pretty good impersonation. What do you think?
The other thing,
or it just doesn't play.
The visor thing that held the CDs, the sun would bleach it if you forgot and left it up.
Yeah,
I had that a few times.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucked.
I used to put mine up there as well. That was nice and convenient. So you're less likely to crash. So, but I don't know what's worse. I don't know what's more safe. putting in a CD or trying to choose. I have satellite radio in my truck, and all I do is change the channel like continuously. Like I can never like rest. I do listen to a lot of channel 33, whatever that is, but the alternative rock station.
Wave. Is it the 80s wave? I think that's what it was last time I was
wave.
in there. It was
It is a lot of 80s, but I don't think it's wave.
Wave. Not dark wave, but like something wave, I thought it said.
See, we've lost you as a Googler. Now we need someone else to do the Googling.
I can still, where's my...
I could just go to the truck. I listen to it every day, more or less, when I'm driving, and I can't remember what they're called. It's not call letters. It's just a word for whatever it is. Channel 33 on Sirius. Leave it to let someone comment.
Okay,
They'll comment. Otherwise, we're wasting time. So, all right, what else do you got for us?
All right, so the most sold CD ever was Michael Jackson Thriller, which was 70 million copies.
Michael.
And the best CD single that was ever sold, this is crazy, is White Christmas by Irving Berlin. I did not see that coming.
Nice.
And then in the States, Tower Records was the top CD store. Canada, HMV. And if anybody's curious as to the CD player that I always wanted in high school and I never got, and to this day I still want, it's the JVC RVDP 100 subwoofer. It works as a CD player and a guitar amp. If anybody has one, let me know. Seriously looking for one.
It looked like the Kaboom is what it looked like.
Looked
that
so
was
awesome.
Yeah, it was like a tube thing, wasn't it? Like a tube.
Yeah. It was like.
I think originally when
cylinder.
they came out, JVC called it the Kaboom. I don't know. That's what I remember anyway. So let's go over. I don't know how much time we're at because we don't want to go. We got to do this in 30 minutes or less. It's like Domino's pizza delivery. So James, is there a way to tell on the camera how much time we have?
We're at 12 minutes.
12 minutes. We have
lots of time.
All right.
Okay, so let me ask you this: what was your first CD that you ever got?
You know what? I can't remember the very first CD, but I do remember that it was Beatles, probably Sgt. Pepper. I can't remember the deal that the Beatles, of course, the Beatles would make a deal, I'm sure, but when North America became a little sort of a launching ground, or like you said, Japan had them first, but once they became, the first year was that they became popular in North America would have been what, like 83, 84?
Yeah, 83, because 82 was when they first launched, and that would be over in Japan.
So I remember the first CD player I got, I don't know the brand, but it was a single disc tray, and it was probably a Kenwood or something. Worked good, worked fine, and I right away I bought, and it seemed like a lot of my friends bought all the Beatles CDs because they were one of the first ones that were available on CD. Not everything was available on CD right away. It wasn't like instantly every single, artist is all of a sudden available on CD. It took some time. But the Beatles, I got Sgt. Pepper. I don't remember the other ones, but there was a couple different ones. For sure, Sgt. Pepper and probably the White Album. But yeah, good times. So yeah, that's my story.
What about you, James? What was your first CD?
Oh, she's incorporating James. I don't know if that's legal.
What was my first? I want to say it was LL Cool J.
God Lord.
It's okay. Mine was 700% dance hits.
Nice.
It's probably like one of those like Much music.
Oh yeah, Much.
It had like the whatever was popular for that year.
Oh yeah, well nothing wrong with those. What were they called?
Much Dance 97, Much Dance 98, yeah. And then you got Big Shiny Tunes.
Big Shiny Tunes. That was
one of my favorites, number 3.
No, Big Shiny Tunes were kick-ass.
Oh, yeah.
They
were
great,
awesome.
They were like, they were like a modern-day K-Tel. They were like, boom, you'd have all these alternative rock songs, Marilyn Manson.
Oh, yeah. Like, check out that soundtrack list. This is my favorite of all the Big Shiny Tunes. It's 3. I listened to this way too many times.
Sorry, I said I wouldn't sing this time. Yeah, well, that's one of the best ones, I think.
It is, 100%.
Let me see that again. Oh, yeah, that's bringing back memories. I used to play this thing at Radio Shack, and particularly, God, what was it? Probably, I don't know if it was Dragula or not, but, I think it was the...
Dragula is on one of them. It's a remixed one of it, too.
No, it's on it. Monster Magnet was on this?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't even know that. I didn't know who Monster Magnet was until very, not recent, but like, didn't even know they existed until about like 10 years ago.
Oh.
Yeah, I totally missed out. I love.
Do you know how I found out they
I love
existed?
Monster Magnet.
Do you remember Columbia, the 12 CDs for a cent?
Oh, you stole one.
Oh my God. So I filled that out in grade school because I thought, oh my gosh, okay, I've got a cent. So I did it, and they didn't ask like your age or anything. So I got 12 CDs in the mail. I also got some very threatening phone calls from collections a few years later.
Well, everybody did. I think I was the only one who paid off their thing and did it. You had to get 13 more, or whatever it was, to fulfill your agreement with Columbia House. My parents made me fulfill it and made me buy, and it wasn't the easiest thing, but it wasn't that hard. So, but let's. We're going to show some of the CDs that we have available at Vintage and Vinyl, just because we're giving you an example of like. Most people know that we have CDs, but there's a lot of people that don't, in a way, that think that we have as many. We have literally over 1,000 CDs if you count the ones in our bargain bins. But we have some pretty amazing CDs when it comes to the fact that they're not the easiest to find the good ones. You can find, the crappy ones at thrift stores and whatnot. The sort of like the bird sounds or whatever, the CDs that you put on to just relax to while someone massages you. What are those called? You know what I mean? They're terrible.
Spa music.
The spa music,
stuff,
yeah. Or junk like that, or just stuff that nobody wants. But or maybe somebody collects spa music. That would be the saddest thing ever. I can't think of anything worse. But I'd rather listen to paint dry.
But this is why there's so many different varieties of music, because everybody likes something else. There's literally music for everybody.
I guess songs.
That's what's so amazing about the world. Everybody's different, and there's something for everyone.
And speaking of everyone, show us we'll go back and forth. Show us a CD that you thought was pretty cool at the store. How about that?
Well, I just picked out ones I love. So my comfort music, which is going to sound really weird, is Rob Zombie and White Zombie. Anything Rob Zombie is my comfort music, so I obviously picked one of my favorites.
It's kind of odd comfort music.
I know.
It's pretty out there.
I don't know why, but if I'm really stressed or I'm having a really bad day or I'm really happy or I'm really sad, it's just what I want to hear.
That would never work for me.
It works for me?
I would, if anything, it would make me want to punch someone, to be honest. Rob Zombie pumps me up and more like, I want to go out and... I
want to say since grade 4 or 5, he's been my comfort music.
That's weird.
I'm an odd child.
So, all right, well, I'll say for every pick that Emily had, we're just going to go back and forth with just some of the more unique CDs that we have right now, just for giggles. Here's one I thought was kind of funny. There's Conan the Barbarian, what a great movie for Arnold. This is the soundtrack. So I've got lots of weird soundtracks and stuff. Not for everybody, perhaps, but maybe you collect Arnie. I don't know, but I just thought it was kind of funny, to be honest. That's my first one. Go ahead.
I did not
I'm gonna
pick
have
as
a lot
many
more.
as you,
Yeah,
but
you're right.
I just picked my favorite.
I'll have to go on a run. That's all right. I'll do mine quick.
Another one is Empire Records, which is also a really amazing movie.
So, okay, who's hotter? Liv Tyler. I don't know what's the other gal's name. She's from.
God, don't ask me. I'm terrible.
Oh shit, we're gonna blow it. Yeah, I guess it's Liv Tyler. To me, it's not even a question. It's Liv Tyler anyway. I know the one was in. It's Joey Adams. Joey Adams was in Chasing Amy, and the one on the end was in that. Remember the movie with the witches, the Craft. If you Google The Craft, her name will come up. Or here's an easier thought, Scott. Just Google Empire Records. Yeah. Sorry, I just thought I'd play...
Liv Tyler, Robin Tunney.
Robin.
Renee Zellweger.
Okay, we're up. I guess we got 2 minutes, Emily.
Ooh, Debbie Mazar. She's hot. I didn't know she was in there, too. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, a bunch of hotties. And then
right?
We got 10 minutes. Oh, I thought he said 2 minutes.
Okay, so to answer your question, I'm going to go with Renee Zellweger because, damn, in this movie, yeah.
Really?
And out of the dudes, this guy.
Yeah, that guy he went on, yeah. I didn't even know. That's not even Renee Zellweger.
Oh, well, it's not her. Who's that?
No, it's not.
That's
Joey Emick. Oh, I think Renee Zellweger. I can't even say her fucking name. Zellweger is not. She had maybe a bit part.
Oh, okay.
She wasn't in this, was she?
Okay.
No.
Well, then who's
Joey
the chick
Adams
in the corner?
That is Robin Tunney. Robin Tunney shaves her head.
No, the other corner. Doing a
That's
kissy face.
Joey Lauren Adams or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Is
That's who I'm picking. I don't know. Doesn't have her name on here.
Well, it's fucking wrong. Because, okay, you know
You're
what?
at Google. You're
You know
wrong.
what? I'm wrong. It's the sunglasses. Now that is Renee Zellweger. I don't know. She looks.
I know my
like
women.
Joey. Jesus Christ! There it is, folks. Once per podcast, we bang the pod. We bang the road. Okay. Renee Zellweger, not to be confused with Joey Lauren Adams. Did you see not Clerks? What was the one after
I
that?
have seen Clerks.
Of course,
And Clerks too.
Yeah, I think.
And
she's in that.
Dogma.
Okay, forget about all those. What's the one in the mall? Not mall.
Mallrats?
No, what's the one? Chasing
Dan
Amy.
Oh.
Chasing
Yeah, I've
fucking
seen
Amy.
Chasing Amy.
Amy is the girl who looks like that. Julie
Yeah.
Lauren Adams. So she's been in 2 or 3 of Smith's. Robert Smith? No. The big guy. The director. Come on, James, you met him. Kevin Smith. Anyway, all right, I'm going to go off on a run here because Emily only chose for some reason like 3. I
still have 2 more.
All right,
I don't know what happens
well,
to
we'll
Rob
come back
Zombie
to
again.
Dead Milkmen. Come on, 20 of their hits. That's crazy. I mean, Stewart is the best song, but yeah, you don't. They're going to be hard to find them. I chose this one because it's really hard to find Dead Milkmen on vinyl. I mean, you might find Big Lizard in My Backyard, but after that, you're pretty much going to be toast. So this is good. And that's one of the reasons I think CDs have become popular. Once we get into that era of the late 80s and then early 90s and whatnot and so on, vinyl, it becomes really, really hard to find those particular releases. So unless you want to spend a fortune on the 1990s, say, of Nirvana or grunge or stuff, then you can buy the CD for like a fraction of that price, right? What the hell's the question?
I absolutely want to add in. The
Yeah.
other thing, too, is the certain artists are not on Spotify or YouTube. So I found Kenna, Sacred Cow. That album I can't find anywhere. Kind of wish I kept my CD of it. So if you have a favorite CD, you're better to hold on to that sucker because they may not be on certain streaming services.
Right. Neil Young, Joni Mitchell, not on Spotify. Those I know. And there's probably a fair amount that aren't on Spotify. Another reason is also just they're small. So small, take up less space than, say, vinyl does. And you can play them in your car if your car's like 2016 or older. I'm just giving a ballpark. I could be wrong on that. But I know my truck is a 2017 and it doesn't have CD. And it bugs me because I'm like, damn. Because sometimes you just want to ease it. Their ease of use is something out. It can't be, you don't have to plug anything in, take it out of the package, pop it in, and bam, it's what song you want to listen to. Now, having said that, you can just do Spotify and push a button, right? But people still, I also think it comes down to they still like having stuff and owning stuff and having it that it is yours. I mean, there's nothing worse that if you load up all these titles or whatever into your computer and then you go on to a different thing and then you lose all those things and then you got to, bring them back up again. That can be a nuisance. And then again, like I say, you own it. It's tactile. You have it with you. And then Spotify is maybe free to some for just the basic plan, but a lot of these streaming places and wherever you want to get, James is doing this. He's worse. Where it's getting expensive to do streaming.
Well, I was going to say, too, do you know what you just made me realize? We are in an area
fine.
of you own nothing.
Yes.
Your TV shows, everything is streaming. My video games are on Steam.
I don't even
So
like-
if Steam
yeah.
goes, everything I've bought is gone. We own nothing.
No, you don't even
In this
technically own
day
your.
and age, my lord.
You don't even really technically own your photographs of your kids, really, because they're all on. Right? Nobody. I mean, some.
Well, I
people
don't put my
maybe-
kids online. They're all on my phone, and then I put them
bad
onto an
example.
external.
But you know what I mean? Pictures, a lot of people will just put them on Facebook or
Oh, yeah.
Instagram or whatever, and nobody has photo albums anymore, or if they do, it's rare. Come on through, Frankie. Anyway, all right, speed round, no problem. I picked these various CDs just for no real reason other than they're a little bit unique. I got Haggis. Nothing like a little Haggis.
Not to be confused with Enter the Haggis, also a good band.
Well, that's a totally different band. The cats like hurry up. Otto Scott. Yeah, it's a weird CD that you're not going to find anywhere but here. I got Lady Gaga. This has I thought it was interesting. This is, I think, was the best photo for that particular release. Born to whatever the hell it was.
Born This Way?
Born This Way, that's it, sorry. Yeah, you get some of the packaging. You get all the packaging, you get the lyrics, you get all that stuff. It's not the same as vinyl where you have a larger, a physically larger thing. That's where I like albums, because you've got a bit larger, bigger thing. You can frame them, or just they look better. But Kids, everybody's favorite film. Everybody, not for kids. This is a movie that's I don't know. It's definitely not. It's not for the faint of heart. But this is the soundtrack. I've had this, I don't know, about 3.5 years. I keep mentioning it. It's actually a pretty rare Australian bootleg of Guns N' Roses. Again, next to impossible to find, but hey, we've got it here real quick. These are just a couple of the Japanese CDs that we have. Not that they're Japanese music, just they're North American music, in this case Metallica and Korn, but they were pressed and made. Cat is making love to the boom mic. They were pressed in Japan, and so they have the Obi strips, and these ones actually are sealed. Korn and Megadeth. Yeah, Megadeth, shout out. Who has the reddest hair in rock and roll? Can you?
Frankie, come here.
I think next time we'll put her upstairs. All right, I only got 2 more. Do you have any more?
Yeah, I got 2 more as well.
Go ahead.
All right, so my next one is, sorry, Frankie. The Metallica S&M. This was an amazing concert. I didn't see it live. I saw it on TV. But it was really, really good, and I totally recommend giving this a listen to. It was amazing.
I have that on vinyl, and then I actually recorded it on reel-to-reel. So I thought I'd be cool with that. Maybe like invite some friends over and like break out the reel-to-reel, and bam, you're playing Metallica S&M. There's an S&M too, by the way. I don't know if you're familiar with that, Emily. It's up there. James, you want to get a shot of that?
Oh, yeah, look at that.
S&M too. Yeah, I think that one's in Philadelphia. I could be wrong. Anyways, we're going to wrap it up. These are a couple of box sets I have. This is AC/DC. The cool thing is this isn't the studio albums. Of course, you'll see those. That's not rare or anything. These are broadcasts that were from 1974 to 1988. So some pretty rare concert footage and stuff from 14 years of AC/DC. That one's pretty rare, actually. Skid Row, I mean, they're hard to find. Once we get into Skid Row, maybe you'll find that first record, but after that, good luck on vinyl. But here you get all of their records. Well, at least the ones from the Atlantic years, 5 different albums. Boom, in a nice little CD format. And last, nothing but the finest, the Allman Brothers Band. I just like the Allman Brothers. I mean, is there any better live recording than live at Fillmore? To me, it's the best. It's the most consummate, most awesome.
Did they do a Midnight Rider?
I don't know.
I like that song.
We haven't got time for trivia.
My next one is fancy that, it's Rob Zombie again. They would have all been Rob Zombie, but I tried to switch it up.
Emily's got a Rob Zombie fetish. All right, we're going to wrap it up because I don't know if we have less than a minute, probably. All right, James. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Our next podcast is going to get even creepier. Stay tuned for possibility. At least I hear we're going to have a visit from Art the Clown. Amazing enough. By the way, discount. I said in the last previous that we were going to offer a discount. I'm going to offer 20% off store-wide. Anybody that just says, I was listening to your podcast, or should we do a secret word?
Ooh, do a secret word.
Secret word is penis. If you come in and say penis, you get 20% off. Yeah, what do you think? I think that's kind of funny. And if you don't want to say penis, well, fine. You ain't going to get 20% off.
I'd walk in.
That's the way I work. What a dick move. You know what that is, James? That's a dick move. Stay groovy.